Have a 2015 Jeep Wrangler with a 3.6 liter V6, and I'm gonna replace the radiator. So I got the hood all the way open. Put a rug up there, keep it from getting damaged. So now what we need to do is remove the upper air intake tube. Got a 8mm 210s, and your 2 clips, and another 2 clips in the front over here. You got a tube right here, a breather tube. Disconnect that. Get these out and pick that up. And you also want to take this off. Get your hood prop rod up out of the way. Get your door panel tool to remove your little fasteners. I got my clamp loose. Got my clips undone. Got my bolts out. Get my tube off. Also, when you pick this up, get those out of there. There's a sensor on the bottom for your air intake tube, so you want to be able to remove that also. I had to get a light in there and find out where the clip's at and unclip it. Okay, here's the intake air temp sensor connector. Gotta push in the little tab right there, remove it. You can undo your coolant reservoir. Got that clip right here, door panel tool clip. Undo that. Undo these. Hopefully it doesn't go underneath there. Hopefully not. Undo the clips. And it pulls right out. And next thing I want to do is I want to remove my lower air filter box. And so make sure you spray some penetrant down in there on those 3 items down there, circles. Because that's where the grommets are with the little stud sticking out. Alright? So spray it down in there and work it back and forth, and you can pull them up out of it. Okay? See how they just push in there? Alright, undo your coolant overflow tank hose from by the radiator. Pull that off. Remove the clip that goes in right here. And then you go ahead and you grab a hold of the reservoir assembly and you pull up on it, and it comes unclipped. Then pull it out. Because you got that little nub sticking there. That nub sticks into a hole, and it just holds it in place. Next you want to do is unplug your cooling fan motor. It's right here. If there's a lock inside here, pull the lock out, and you can go ahead and push the tab down and unplug it. Then we want to remove the fan shroud assembly. There's an 8mm bolt right here, and there's another one on the driver's side below the upper hose, and it's right inside here, 8mm. Now that you got those 2 screws out, go ahead and pull it out, okay? Next, what you want to do is go ahead and drop your coolant. I think and I could just undo this radiator hose clamp here. Spring clamp, and bring it up, twist this off, take the hose off carefully, and just make sure it's not under pressure when you do this. So you want to release the pressure. You see the fluid spraying out of there, had a little bit of pressure on it, and that could have sprayed into your face. So undo the pressure, and undo your clamp, and you can pull your lower hose off. Alright, next you want to do is remove the radiator bolts. One here, and one there. They're 10mm head. Get your door panel tool, unclip your fan harness from the side of the radiator. Now the radiator, check this out. Has a condenser and coolers screwed to it. Just when you thought it was looking darn easy, Nope, they had to go and mess you up. All right, the front one is probably the trans cooler, I'm assuming, okay? So then you want to remove these two fasteners off of there. You never know, you might have to take them off. 2 clips in there. Then you got a 10 right here in the bracket. Where you at? Right there. 10 there on this bracket. And you got 2 10s over here. 1 there and 1 there. And you got this one on the line for the cooler. I think the last time I did it, I took it off so I can pull that cooler right out of there. So we're gonna see. I'm sorry, the one over here was an 8. So, alright, so I took it out, unplugged that, pulled it out the top. There it is. There's the seals for it. Okay, so that's out of the way. That was nice. Next, we got the AC condenser. It's got an 8mm there and an 8mm there, and you pick it up out of the radiator because it's got a little notch that slips down into. I'm sure you've run across those before. And then once you get it out of the radiator, you can go ahead and pick it up. But not that easy because there's a bracket over here on the side that goes, and it's got another 8 going through the side here, bolting to the radiator to keep it together. Hard time accessing that. But you see that horn right here? You need to take that horn out. And that's got a Torx bit on it. So you move that Torx bit and then you can move your horn. You know, they really want you to disconnect the AC lines and pull the whole thing out with it. They really want you to do that. All right, to unplug the horn, I pushed in on these little flats right here. Right there. I don't know if it mattered any, but I pushed it down. Squeezed it with a pair of pliers and pulled them off. All right, so I got my one on the side. I got my one in the front and one in the front. Now they got, it doesn't go into the little bracket. They got another 2 more 8s. Another 8. And another 8 over here. On this side. So I picked the whole radiator up assembly and got it out of the mount. You know, there's the mount. Right here, that hole. Get this one out. It's still in the hole. I'll remove that 8 down there, and then I'll pick the radiator up and I'll push it forward a little bit, and I'll get that 8 out of that condenser. All right, I got to this one with a swivel. Now I'm gonna get me an extension. And I'm gonna get to that one with a swivel too. From out here. All right, you look down below, you see those 2 lines right there? Then go over here off to the side. I think those are the trans lines. And go through the wheel well. See them right there? And if you look a little further, you'll see a 10. See the 10? Remove that 10. Because that fastens to the radiator also. Nice, huh? Alright, I got the screw out, but I dropped it. It holds a little bracket on there. So we'll have, and then those lines kind of clip into the radiator. You know, if you can see them, there's a clip there and a clip there, and all that little bracket does is goes over them to hold them in to those little notches for those lines. Okay, so you have to get those lines out, and then you can pull the radiator up. Careful with your screws. I dropped my last 2. And then you look down here. You see this? You got a fastener down here going to the radiator also. So you got to get your door panel tool down in there and remove that also. Then you can go ahead and pick up on the radiator over on this side and drag it that way a little bit. And you can pop your lines out of that little bracket off the side of the bottom of the radiator. Okay? And then that little metal bracket falls down onto the ground. Over on the driver's side, you have to push this off of the radiator, because otherwise it has a hard time going past that part. And then you just have to push that radiator that way and you can pick it straight up. So you're going back together, make sure you put that one in and put this one in afterwards. You get it installed. And here's the little bracket that held those trans lines, trans lines in. I think it went in there like that. Okay, so I got my condenser bungee corded up so it's not hanging down in my way. So now I can go ahead and get my new radiator ready to go in. Put your little bumpers in there. Remember, metal facing forward. These are D-shaped, so make sure you put them in there properly. And that goes on there like that. And after you get the lines in there, put it in there like that. So take a picture of the way that looks so you'll remember. All right, I put the radiator down in there. And I had it resting on the mounts. And then I got my condenser started with this one first, the top hole. I just got it started, screwed in there. Came over here, got this one started, and then that one started on the side. Got that one started, and then last but not least, the bottom one over here on the driver's side, I got that one started. And then I snugged that one up, snug that one up, snug that one up, snug that one up, and then snug that one up. Now the other one is this one. It goes to the side of the trans. Should be easier to hook up now because otherwise it's flopping around in the way. So hopefully we can get it. Okay, I'm putting the trans cooler in because you don't want, if you put the trans cooler in and you put the lines on there, it will help you line everything up. So okay, trans cooler, I'm putting that in there with the 3 long black screws and then a shorter black screw over here. Oh, that's right. This one went to the line, and this one went to the radiator on this side. That's right. 2 10s and an 8. Got the trans line into the cooler. Now you just got to make sure you get the lines in the side of the radiator. It was kind of hard because it kept pushing that way, so I put a bungee cord around them and pulled them that way a little bit to help line up my lines into my little notches in my radiator. You'll see on the trans line, you'll see 2 ripples. Okay, and the ripples got to go on both sides of this. You know, you got a line and then you got a ripple and then you got another ripple. It goes right there. Same thing with the top one. And they snap right in a little bit. Then you can put your little thing on there. And then put your screw in there. I pried mine forward, rearward, and upward a little. All right, there it is. It's in there. Okay, took a while, but I got it. So now I can go ahead and line up my radiator into my supports. Put this hose back into the 2 little fasteners, one in the radiator and one in the frame. Put your horn back in. Put your tech screw back on there. Tighten that up. And next we can go ahead and put our cooling fan in. Put your 2 8mm head screws in the radiator for the fan. Make sure the fan drops into those 2 little shelves on each side. All right, put your screws in, tighten them up, plug it in, make sure it clicks in, make sure it doesn't pull apart. Now we can go ahead and put our hoses back on with our clamps. Okay, make sure you tuck this under just the red section of the grill. Okay, don't go any further underneath, it won't fit. So just go underneath the red part. All right, so you put your reservoir in there, it goes in 2 slots, and push it down, and then you put your last fastener to hold it in place right here. Can't get to it, so air cleaner box, put your air filter in there, put your upper cleaner tube on, don't forget your intake air temp sensor, tighten your clamp, your 2 bolts, put your hose in there, and your 4 clips, and your breather tube. Then you can start it, top off your fluid, let it run, keep checking your fluid level, make sure you got heat, and shut it off, let it cool down, and double check the coolant level later. So that's how you do your radiator. And also you might want to double check your trans fluid level, because we lost maybe a cup. So just so you know. So hopefully I helped you out with this video, and good luck. Thank you.